So I just don't think that's possible.
Yeah. Dee, I got a question for you. What is it like to work with Chuck?
Turn that damn thing off.
Well, we have different styles and different interests and different skills, so it works fine. We knew when we started the store that we could work well together. We hadn't worked as a career together, but the time that we spent together went well than when we were working separately. Even though friends, when we told them we were going to do this, no, don't do that. But it's worked great.
Yeah.
So how do you guys divide your responsibilities? What do you focus on, and what does Chuck focus on? And
Well, I mean, when we started out, it was just the two of us, so we were doing everything together. But as the store has evolved and grown and so on, Chuck does more of the marketing things for the store. That's kind of his specialty. I do a great deal of the training, although we hire together and do initial training together. I do more of the training and the scheduling, and I do some sideline buying, and but you know,
a little bit more of the nitty gritty things. And if you were, how things work in the store, Dee probably knows more about than I do in many things.
Chuck's the vision guy. I'm the nitty gritty guy.
I'm not really a great detail person in many respects. More. I get excited about ideas and starting things and that sort of thing, and so and Dee's a lot more really how things work and making things work, and so there are lots of things I have to ask her over and over again. How if I'm going to do something, if I'm going to do some particular procedure, I don't have a clue how to do it. So
that sounds like me.
I can completely relate.
So on that topic, what advice would you have for us as new booksellers just entering the field?
Well, that's a great question.
Finally, I asked a good question.
Yeah, we were wondering when that was going to happen. I think keeping a real open mind about what the possibilities are out there. We're in a rapidly changing business, and I say that having seen this business changed a lot in the 28 years we've been in it. There's all sorts of things happening now that I think booksellers need to consider. I think the digitization of material, the possibility of print on demand, all sorts of things like that I think are going to be very important for booksellers. Not to be disintermediated, as they say. Otherwise, we're a lost art and a lost retail connection for people.
Part of that is keeping close to your customer and keeping close to your community, and trying to understand what they need and what they want from you, and trying to offer that.
I actually find that even in San Francisco, where we have a very tech-savvy group of people, they actually really crave community now,
Absolutely.
right?
Exactly.
Because they've gone the other extreme where they're spending many hours online, and they say, okay, now I need to get out from my computer. I need to get out and do something. And so they, are they going to get the same meaning going to the dry cleaner that they do going to a bookstore?
Years ago, was it John Nesbitt?
John Nesbitt in his book Megatrends. Well, his book was Megatrends, and one of the trends that he talked about then was something he called high tech, high touch. And he said what's going to happen is we become more and more technically involved with more high-tech things in our lives, that we are going to crave the high touch. We're going to crave connection with community, with other people, with some sort of atmosphere that makes us feel comfortable. And I think those stores, if you look around the country and see those stores that I would say today are the best bookstores in the country, I think you're looking at stores that have created places that people like to go, like to be, they like to spend time and interact with their friends and community members. Yeah. And I think that's something that's going to be important for the next generation of bookstores, because it's going to be,
it's the experience that you're craving.
Yeah, and we've told people for years that our mission, we don't define our mission as to sell books, because that doesn't distinguish us from almost anybody out there.
Walmart.com.
Exactly,
Yeah.
or the drugstore on the
Drugstore,
corner, or
right.
the grocery store.
Right.
Those people all sell books. We're in the business, what we tell people now is we're creating community one book at a time. And we're in the business of connecting people with the things that they want to read, mostly that they want to read, but information in all kinds of ways. And so information, entertainment. And I think if one keeps that mind sort of open and say, well, how can I do this? How can I continue to do it in the community? I have little doubt that there's a place for that kind of community connection around information and around probably, I mean, I think for a fairly long time into the future, we're still going to see the physical book as part of our culture. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to, even with the best design of something that is a book reader and that you can download books and everything.
They're so physical. I mean, the interesting thing is we interviewed so many avid readers, and they said that the shelves and the books that are on the shelves, they're actually on display to represent who they are, that reflect themselves. Exactly. So when they invite people into their home, into their living room, they're showing themselves off. They're saying, "This is who I am."
We need to cultivate
And my store manager put it really well. She said, you know, she was an early adopter of the online chat groups, and she found that when she met up finally with a chat group that she'd been involved in for over a year, that all of the people that were around the table, she wouldn't ever find herself in a situation of sitting with them in any other, you know, circumstance. You know, affluent woman, a poor woman, you know, but they all had a very common interest around a particular subject, and author and books. And she said, I found my tribe. And she said, I need to, when I walk into the bookstore, know that my tribe has been there. I may not recognize who is part of my tribe, but I'll see the evidence that my tribe has been there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's neat. I like that.
So,
Yeah.
last question. You guys know we have Martha working with us now.
Yes. The human dynamo.
Hi, Martha.
Hi, Martha.
Yeah, you want to record a message for Martha?
Come back to Bellingham, Martha.